Like,
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Pooh.
I'm Jay.
and I'm Main One, and we're Unplugged, Free Your Mind, a show where we discuss and discuss and share our perspectives on an array of topics and world news from an unfiltered, unbiased, and unplugged point of view. What are you talking about? How you gonna mess up my flow, man? You on some janky shit today? Hey, welcome everybody.
Welcome everyone.
I think that might be the first time. I think it might be the first time on the show where you cussed before I did.
Oh man, messed up the algorithm.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah, we know how they do with us anyway.
Right. Welcome back to another week of Unplugged, where you get it uncut and raw.
Yes.
And look who's back in the building. Welcome back, Jay. Welcome back, Carter.
I'm back, Carter. Don't be telling your age now. What's that?
You don't remember the show? Welcome back, Carter.
That wasn't during my time. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck you think you fooling?
And what? I was all 90s shows, all 90s, all 90s.
Don't make me put your age out here.
Yeah. Unnecessary. What's going on, y'all? How was your weekend? I'm so happy to be back. What is going on with you?
Man, weekend was good, quiet, spring break. So, man, I was chilling like a motherfucker.
What you do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. Woke up, laid back in the bed, nothing.
You didn't do any housework, no honeydews, no kitties, take them somewhere.
I did have a honeydew list, but it got cut short. We had some death in our family.
I'm sorry.
Sunday, my wife's aunt's husband died, so kind of dealt with that most of the week. So that kind of threw my honey to-do list out of the way. So that took precedent. So, but other than that, it was very relaxing. It went by too fast. By the time I looked up, it was Thursday. I was like, the fuck? The Masters on? I'm like, oh man, we gone.
How's that going? I heard the young guy won. What's his name?
Number one. He's the number one player in the world. He pretty much from start to finish, he had it.
He did. What's his name, fool? He's like what, 25 years old?
Scheffler.
Yeah. Scheffler. Okay. And then I heard your boy Tiger was on court trying to do something.
Yeah, but he basically, I would say he's gonna end up playing well. I personally believe because of the course, it was kind of hard for him to I would say to finish like he wanted to because the golf course was hilly. You may not want to say anything about his foot, but him playing, when you play golf, this is for anybody out there. When you play golf, thankfully it wasn't real hot out there, but golf is a lot of walking. That's number one. It's a lot of walking. Number two, when you play that game on their level, it's a lot of thinking. So now you're talking about mental and physical fatigue. And he has not played competitive golf in almost 2 years. It's a difference. You can't ride a cart on the PGA Tour. You got to walk. And with the golf course being hilly, it is what it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if basically he got tired. I would not be surprised. So it's going to take a little bit of time.
Well, because he's had knee surgery, correct?
He had
surgery, back surgery or something.
No, this is we passed all of that because he had that car accident. He almost lost his fucking leg.
Yeah,
he literally almost lost his leg. So his right leg and his right foot is fucked up. And if you saw him walk up hills, you could see the walk that he has now.
That's why I told Food when I saw him Tuesday. I was like, "Yo, is he gonna be able to play?" I was like, because the way he was walking, I was like, "Yo, that shit don't look good." But for him to shoot a under Thursday, that was impressive.
Well, everyone was saying that this is his, potentially his comeback because they didn't even think that he would be able to play like this year. They was counting him out altogether.
Nobody but see, the thing about it is Tiger, and I'm speaking from a golf perspective because I know the game and I know his story and everything like that. Tiger's obsession is breaking Jack Nicklaus's majors record, which is 18. So he needs 19. All I'm gonna say to y'all is that Tiger fucked up. Tiger fucked up because there was a time when he was at his peak that he should have won more majors, but he was tinkering with his fucking golf swing, which slowed him down, which was the problem. If he would have just stuck with what he was doing, he would have it. So right now he has 15. So he needs 4 more majors. There's 4 majors throughout the year.
Yeah. And he got 4 chances to get them all.
So the Masters is his best chance because he knows the course. And they're not going to change it but so much. So it's not going to be super long and all this other shit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he has a better chance now because of his foot and because it's early in his comeback. To me, he has to play flatter golf courses. That's going to be the thing. Because he hits it. He was hitting it good. He was hitting it. I mean, it's golf. Everybody hit a bad shot. Granted. And everybody out there, what y'all don't understand is, this is the main thing. There's so many bad shots during a pro tournament, they don't show you that. They show you the good shot. They show you all the good shots. So there's some people out there playing like shit. Don't get it twisted. It's some shots you be like, damn, he a pro, he hit that shit like that. Yes, they hit it just like you. It happens. But I'm confident he gonna be all right. Like he physically, he look right, but he has a lot of it's the physical part that he has to get through. He has to get through with playing in the competition aspect of it. That's the main thing. So I'm looking forward to it. I definitely do wish him the best. I just want to see him win again. If he wins again, see, but see, this is my thinking. Ben Hogan, who's one of the greatest of all time, people talk about him too. He had a major car accident also. He had that car accident. He came back and he actually won. In my personal opinion, now Tiger wants to be on that level too, where he had a bad accident and he came back to win afterwards. So, and you mind you, we talk about this dude had his car accident probably in like the 50s, the 40s or the 50s. So imagine it wasn't the same as far as medical progression and everything like that with the doctors and all other shit. They say when he used to play, his legs were literally wrapped, like literally both of them wrapped. So it was crazy. But let me get my golf shit out the way real quick before we go ahead and jump in. Matter of fact, let me get my golf shit out. Then let Jay go ahead and get an entertainment shit in if she got anything, and then we can start going in on this. Let's go, Brandon. We can have us some fun tonight, and hopefully some people get on so we can really go in on this. And I got some.
What Chuck at?
I told him. He said we're gonna get on.
Okay.
So I worked on something. I'm working on something with my golf swing, and I played in a tournament Monday, and I shot a 99. The reason why I shot the 99, I had like 3 bad holes, one bad hole. But here's the thing. I had a bad hole, but the dude that was playing with me, he had a worse hole than me. And to witness that shit, I was like, damn, technically he had a 13. Kai. We've been on Facebook. When we got terminated off of YouTube, we had to start over. So yeah, we on Facebook, yo. So I went out there, I putted well, which is my short game is where it is. But something told me to go get a lesson. So I took a lesson with the pro at the golf course over here by my house. I actually took it today. When I tell y'all what has been wrong with my swing is about this much, like literally, it's the physical is like this much. That's how much your golf swing can be fucked up. this amount of space.
Wow.
So I have something I'm gonna work on because I'm playing in the tournament. I'm playing in the tournament Friday, but it's different. It's a money thing. It's going to be 10 to 15 man teams playing against each other, and I'm on one of the teams. So you got a gross score. Gross is whatever your score is. Net is your score minus your handicap. I'm going after that one because if I play well and I get half of my handicap, I'm gonna end up winning the top spot, and I think it's like $300. So in my mind, I want my motherfucking money. My mindset is when I go on the tee box, give me my motherfucking money. So I'm on a mission. I got to really practice tomorrow. And go I can't practice Friday, but I really got to go hit some balls tomorrow. But it's a good chance that I'm getting ready to go from shit to sugar. Like
that's all right.
Like quick.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, and
I'm tired of hearing about dinosaur shit.
Well, hold up. Wait a minute now. Let's get this out. Notice when I talk to you, I'm not doing that no more. After the conversation we had with Dr. Valentine, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm no longer going to be on the golf course with the negativity.
Right.
The big thing is, Tiger said, when you hit a bad shot, you got 10 steps. So after that 10 steps, that 10th step, it don't matter. Let that shit go because you can't get it back. It doesn't matter. So that's where I'm at right now. Plus, during the Masters, I watched Tiger. There you go. Oh shit! Now, I watched Tiger 4-putt. If the greatest player greatest player to ever play 4-putted, why would I get mad when I do it? I just don't want to do it a lot. So that's where I'm at right now. Right. So I end my little golf shit, and hopefully I'm not gonna say hopefully I have some bigger and better news. Like hopefully that picture with me like this with a little trophy when I win my.
You got your pose.
Yeah. Hopefully I had that shit.
Don't do it like that.
Do it like that. I like it.
Don't do it like that. Pause.
No, but I'm be holding something.
Yeah,
of course. That's what he means.
No, it's a difference. If I was like this, I ain't doing that.
You don't do that, right? I like the first one. Yes.
Okay, all
right. Jay, if you got some entertainment, go ahead. Then we about to get it in.
You know what? I'm just gonna be right off the top. It's not much. I mean, everybody's been following the whole, Will Smith, Chris Rock thing, and it's the same old. But not to delve too far into it because I'm over it. For the most part, I think Chris is over it. But now the Academy has weighed in. Will Smith has been suspended from attending for 10 years. And now what's happening is a lot of the movies and the things that he had set up, like with Netflix and all, everybody's pulling out.
They're trying to cancel Will Smith.
I think me and you talked about this on the side. Oh man, I'm like, you know what? I knew he was canceled when it happened, but I kind of felt like it was such a slow process to get to what's happening now that I didn't think it would happen because he's just a really loved guy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm one of them people. I'm watching Bel Air. You got me into watching Bel Air. I got hooked. It's good, and I just think that this is a moment in time for him. I'm over it. I mean, it's over at this point. Even Chris Rock, he said, and I quote, he's not talking about that until he get paid. I'm still trying to figure out what that meant.
Hey, this is what happens when you connect yourself with a toxic woman. And I will leave it at that.
Oh, we're gonna put blame on her.
That'll be a topic for another show.
So we're putting the blame on her.
Oh, she's a witch.
Let's say it like this. Let's say it like this and then move forward.
Okay.
Whether it was true or not, and I believe it was bullshit, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett should have been not together. I would put it just like that because
deep too.
The way that their relationship has been, especially once everything started coming out, why y'all still together? And I say that because anybody who kind of knows the ins and outs of their relationship or has heard the stories, they playing a false front anyway. The shit ain't authentic anyway, and it hasn't been for a long time.
My biggest thing is these people know how to make money. They know how much to put out publicly to make sure they stay relevant and they have money coming in. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I never put it past, Hollywood people and celebrities, just to keep the money coming in. And obviously it worked for Chris Rock, whose tickets went from like $50 to like $200 to
I'm gonna
see
say
him at places that really technically it's not even an arena. It's just, basic places. Not basic, but you know what I mean.
let me
So,
end this right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get on with the topic. Believing that Will really smacked Chris is wild. An actor smacks an actor in a room full of actors at a show that rewards actors. Think it's possible acting was going on. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Plain and simple. There's no like.
Bro, I don't give a shit about the damn slap, the Oscars.
Either.
I don't either. I'm over it.
I care about Will Smith's mental health. He's in an abusive relationship. He's being abused. I'm fearing for his safety because he may fuck around and snap on Jada, and we will read about Will and kill Jada. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't want to go through that.
Fam, but see here's the crazy thing about what you just said. They spun this to make people believe that. That's the part that's scary. They've spun this shit to the point where people may actually believe that. But fuck Will and Jada.
We can leave it alone. I have
one more. What it is.
I'm
gonna go ahead and invite Chuck on, and we're gonna have some fun tonight talking about Let's Go Brandon. Now,
hey, hold up. Jay, what's your last entertainment?
So, I don't know if everybody knew this, but DJ Khaled got his star on.
Fuck DJ Khaled.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You know what?
You like yourself some DJ Khaled. Don't be serious.
He's a real artist.
He's a DJ.
Right.
DJ is an art form.
Yeah. So
come on to Let's Go Brandon.
Here's the thing about the Walk of Fame. You have to pay for your star. So I'm good. I'm not really impressed.
I'm not getting into the antics. I'm just saying he was recognized.
Oh shit! Double dip.
Uh-oh.
Damn.
Uh-oh.
Damn. Look who it is.
Thank you, KZ.
What's going on?
My two favorite bros, Chuck and Kimani. Yes.
I wanna let everybody. I wanna put this out there for everybody, and I want to make this abundantly clear before we kind of go into this. A lot of people have no idea what Let's Go Brandon means. They don't. I wish we would play the video, but it is what it is. The thing is, somebody was getting interviewed at an event. Thousands of people in the stands. These people were literally saying, "Fuck Joe Biden." This is what they were saying. It was clear that this is what they were saying. The newscaster chick was interviewing a dude named Brandon, and she flips it and says, "Oh, they're really excited about you saying let's go Brandon." No, they weren't. They were saying what I said in the beginning. Now, here's the other thing about what I'm telling you. I said this, and I posted this on Facebook earlier, and a lady said that it's a phrase that was created by MAGA supporters. So my response to her was, so you're telling me everybody in that crowd that was screaming it was a MAGA supporter? So in life, there isn't a time where someone regrets their vote and decides to say, nah, I agree with that. And she couldn't stray off of that, which is the problem. So the issue that we have with this is when you disagree with somebody now, when it comes to politically, they automatically put you to the other side when it's not that goddamn serious. And I say that because when you look at Democrats and Republicans, you have Democrats who have Republican views and you have Republicans who have Democratic views. They just choose to be with a party. But bottom line is they two heads of the same goddamn snake. So what difference does it make, in my opinion? So I wanted to I wanted to put that out there, like to preface this. But we got two special guests. My man Chuck, who me and Jermaine be always posting and sharing his shit because he's official. And we got my man Kimani, who got the Let's Go Brandon flag. He waved that shit proudly, without question.
And the bumper stick.
So
I hate him.
We can go ahead and get it in, yo. We can go ahead and get it in.
So I'm sorry, I'm just a little lost. What exactly are we talking about? The Let's Go Brandon, the video, or are we getting into politics?
We're getting into the reason why people believe Let's Go Brandon.
They fucking with Chuck already.
Oh.
So let me kind of frame it. So with the midterms coming, and we know how this goes with the midterms coming up, which in my opinion, I've been saying this before Biden got in. I said it was going to be a bloodbath, meaning that the Republicans was going to take back the House, they were going to take back the Senate, which it's all in the plan anyway. If you've been following politics, you know how this works. Every cycle, this is how they flip. But the problem is you got this guy who's in the seat, and everybody who's a quote unquote Democrat, they say, well, you got to hold your politicians accountable. But then when you hold them accountable, they say, well, you're a Trump supporter, or you're this and you're that. So it's like, on one end, how you saying hold them accountable, and then on the other end is like you a Russian asset, or you a Donald Trump supporter. It's like, hold up, how we gonna do that? Go ahead, Kimani.
I'm already
Damn
They
it,
got you. They got you, home. They got you. You gonna have to move.
Tell me how they got me. I'll tell you how they got y'all. Whoever.
Robert, we keep Biden in our mouth like you keep Trump in your mouth. Now, how about that? Trump stay in your mouth.
You know, before
y'all have at it.
Somebody explain to me why Putin's the bad.
Good evening, everybody. Jay, Fool, Main, Chief.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chief.
Go ahead. Damn it.
Yeah, it's gonna be my man. If you really think about it,
Let me go check my internet.
All right.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Let me go check my internet, y'all. Hold
on. Okay, so yeah, Fool, it's so ironic when you text me last night. I had just finished looking at one of the posts that you shared of mine, and which was talking about the I think it was either the gas prices or the consumer price index, which shows inflation, and it was comparing 2017 to 2020 or through 2020 with 2021 and 2022. So basically, how we were doing financially with Trump versus how we were doing financially with Biden. And this was government websites. So this wasn't, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, this was a government website. And the last time I checked, Democrats control the federal government. So I saw this one cat, I'm not gonna call him out or put him on blast, but he basically said, "So what? Who cares?" That was his response. It was the one dealing with the CPI inflation. I remember that now, because my thought process was, wait a minute, now this is talking about inflation, and if you are aware of this, the higher the inflation, the more we're going to be paying for gas, groceries, clothes, and all that, because the dollar is weakened. So I'm like, this is something everybody should care about. But then it dawned on me, he didn't get emotionally triggered over that. He got emotionally triggered over the fact that the country economically, according to the federal government, has gone to hell in a handbasket in the past 15 months. So tagging on with what you were saying, Fu, remember this was about 3 or 4 years ago when Biden made the comment that all black people are monolithic. We can only, in other words, we can only see in black and white. There is no gray. Well, I'll expand. It ain't just black people. It's basically the masses, and all they can see in is Republican and Democrat. There is no in between. And so you have people that, in my opinion, from what I've seen, that have been so brainwashed, programmed, and otherwise just dumbed down by the mainstream media into that, hey, you can't, how can I put this? You can't, the masses would rather financially suffer under someone they like versus prosper under someone that they don't like. And that has nothing to do with being a Democrat, being a Republican. This is just looking at the facts. And you literally have people who were seriously anti-Trump, hated the man then, hate him now, that were financially doing better then than they are now. They're financially struggling and they're still supporting Biden. So from the context that I'm looking at this thing in, it literally has to do with that whole programming that's still going on with the mainstream media.
Let me touch on what you just said to kind of expound on that. Jermaine put me on to a video clip of Shannon Sharp saying he would rather pay $25 a gallon for gas than to have Trump back in than to have him in office. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. Number one, you probably ain't even paying for your own gas. Number two, you're a millionaire and you have millions of people that follow you. So you have the influence. What does that say to the people who following you? And I want to put this out there for so many people, and I really hope that you get me when I make this statement. When you claim to be a leader or not, the question you have to ask yourself is, would you follow you? Now, when you have influence, you got to be mindful of what you say. So when LeBron James says some shit, when you got motherfuckers who got millions of followers, that means something to a fraction of them, which is a lot of fucking people. So with him making that statement, you have people out there not even making $25 an hour who are going to be cool with saying, I'll pay $25 a gallon just because Trump ain't in office. That's the shit that we dealing with. This is that cognitive dissonance. This is that Hegelian dialect type of shit where you have to have a boogeyman and all this other shit, but you okay with how this shit going. And we got to get past that, because bottom line is there is a reality that's there. Period. When all that shit kind of hit the fan, and I'll never forget this shit. I was at the supermarket at Publix. A bag of fucking Doritos was $6. I was like, what the fuck? How the fuck is a bag of chips $6? But they know people will pay for it. That's the other thing about this shit. But I digress. I mean, I'm about to go ahead and get me some damn water. Let me go get me something to drink.
Kimani, go ahead, weigh in on this.
Can y'all hear me, man?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. Y'all haven't really seen me, man, like the last 2 months doing things, man, because it's like the point that we're at right now, y'all. Like, I'm out here. Let me show y'all. So it's not me bragging or nothing. Let me show y'all how serious I am about that. I don't even know if I can turn my fucking camera around. I don't even know if I can turn the goddamn camera around. But I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, man. And I'm out here because none of this shit matters, bro. Like, everything from the smack that happened the other week with Will Smith smacking what's his name to what y'all just said, Shannon Sharp says, all this shit, bro, is designed to distract us from the real shit. These motherfuckers are, bro. These motherfuckers just passed legislation, bro, to where your credit card will lock itself up based off of your fucking carbon footprint. So if you got like 100 gallons of gas in a month, bro, it'll tax you and lock your fucking card up till you pay that tax. They still talking about doing this mandatory COVID shit, like still making motherfuckers get shots in other countries. They locking other countries down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know. Like, I understand why y'all talking about this shit. Believe me, I'm not putting myself above nobody. You know what I'm saying? But especially since I've been out here, bro, I realized that, you know, because sometimes, man, we'll say, okay, politics is a fucking shit show. It's a circus. Or we'll say entertainment is a shit show. It's a circus. Or we realize sports is bullshit. We'll say it's a shit show. It's a circus. Every fucking thing you see is part of the fucking shit show, all the way to Shannon Sharp's motherfucking ass. He said here he's willing to pay 20. Yeah, you're right. It's a shit show, bro. So you talk about platforms, fool, you will never have a fucking platform like Shannon Sharp. You will never have a motherfucking platform like any of these motherfuckers because they gave them their platform. And when you give a motherfucker a platform, bro, you tell them motherfuckers what to say. You tell them motherfuckers that hate Trump. That man is rich, bro. He has every fucking reason on earth to love Trump, other than the motherfuckers who made him rich, made him say that shit. Now, as far as Biden goes, bro, as far as Trump goes, because you got Trump supporters like 2024, you know, and you got black people saying whatever they're saying about the current situation, bro, 2024 ain't gonna get here. That's why I dropped every fucking thing I had and moved off the fucking grid. 2024 ain't gonna get here, bro. And between now and when the time they drop the hammer on this fucking country, bro, because America gonna get hit last. They hitting everybody that ain't got all the weapons now. Look at what's going on in motherfucking China. Look at what's going on in South America. Look at what's going on over in fucking Europe, France, England, all of that shit over there in Europe. They gonna drop the hammer on America last because we got all the fucking guns. So what they're gonna try to do in between then is COVID, Russia, Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? All of this bullshit. And like you said, motherfuckers ain't paying attention. Motherfuckers gonna go buy them $6 bag of Doritos. But when I was telling motherfuckers 4 years ago to prep because of what was coming, I knew they weren't gonna let Trump complete his fucking mission, bro. I knew they weren't gonna Trump rescue too many babies, bro. Hundreds of thousands of them. Trump is the reason that motherfuckers are in Gitmo right now. Trump is the reason you don't go to motherfucking Hollywood don't exist no more. Trump is the reason you get your movies on motherfucking Netflix and you don't go sit in them no more. All of this shit Trump changed, bro, by arresting these pedophiles and murdering John McCain and murdering George Bush for the shit that they did. I knew they weren't gonna let this motherfucker get elected a second time. So I bought thousands of motherfucking cans when they were still like 35 and 40 cents. Bro, I went to the store the other day. A can of fucking green beans was like $4 fucking. The same can I spent like 48 cents for.
Damn.
But they're gonna drop the fucking hammer on us as a people. And man, if y'all don't get your ass somewhere and sit down that ain't around everybody else, because they going, bro, when they drop this hammer, they're gonna do it the same way they do it in every other country. Look it up. They go door to door. Give me all your edibles. I want your fucking dog food, your goldfish food, every fucking thing you can eat so I know how much you got in your house. That shit is coming, bro. And it's coming sooner than later. They gotta lock this motherfucker down.
I wanna play on what he just said, and he can probably elaborate. He probably can elaborate because I always bring up this reference because it was him that said it to me. With all the stuff that's going on, and they keep putting it out there. When we had Dr. Valentine on last week, and when I said it to him, and he was like, yeah, if you just sit down and observe, you will see what's going on, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see it, and a lot of people don't want to see it because it's like they say, you know, when you go down a rabbit hole, once you go down a rabbit hole, you can't get out. That's the thing. And I know people personally who have said that they wish they didn't know what they know now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Once they went down the motherfucking rabbit hole, they like, you know what? I wish I never would have did that shit. Prime example, like what's the name? Cypher from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't want to remember nothing. I don't want to remember nothing. I want to be this. I want to be this. Basically, put me back because if I would have known this, I wouldn't have did it. That's what and that's what people. That's what we dealing with a lot of people right now.
Bro, going too far down that rabbit hole to have your ass out here. Have your ass out here living in this. Drinking water from that. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fucking going down the rabbit hole will do for you, bro. I, I wish our people, man. Facebook got me blocked again for another 30 days. I get out in like 6 days, man. But I really wish our people, bro, would stop and just pay attention to what the fuck is going. Like, this is when you say stuff like this, bro, even though you can back it up with events and shit. It's like I said to you one time, Food. Remember we said a long time ago, man. I said if 20 years ago, and this is everybody on the video, 20 years ago, I told you there's going to come a time when all of these things are going to happen simultaneously. There's going to be a food shortage. There's going to be a fake pandemic. There's going to be a fucking shot that they want to give you for that fake pandemic. It's going to fucking kill you. There's going to be a time when they put fucking graphene oxide.
Oh, shit. God damn it. I wish you wouldn't have said that shit. We probably going to go ahead and we probably got our first strike. Damn. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, they're putting things in the fucking water, in all public fucking waters, and they're passing it through the same green bill, the same Build Back Better green bill bullshit. That same bill is the same bill that has you reporting a carbon tax on your credit card, and they're gonna lock your shit up, moving you further into the new world order, saying what you can and can't spend on and all of this bullshit. Bro, if y'all don't see this shit coming, man, I don't understand it.
Kimani and the rest of the panel, everybody. The sad reality is that most people won't get it. It's like that. I don't know if my favorite movie is Jaws. And I don't know if everybody remember that scene where Hooper and Brody, they were on the beach with the mayor, and they were like, yo, this shark is a killer. And he was like, yo, fuck that. We need the money. And he was like, you ain't gonna realize this shit or take this shit serious till that shit come up and bite you on the fucking ass. It's gonna come a time where some shit's gonna happen that people are telling you that's gonna happen. And people just out here just oblivious, just like, oh man, that shit ain't gonna happen. Oh man, that shit ain't gonna happen. Just like we were saying about it's not gonna be we were saying it was gonna be vaccine passports. Oh no, they're not gonna be able to do that. Vaccine passports. Oh no, they're not gonna be able to lock us down, lock your ass down. Oh, they're not gonna be able to make your ass take that damn shit. All this shit motherfuckers telling you that, but everybody is just oblivious and just in their own little pocket and just saying.
I think that's a little heavy when you say everybody. That's not everybody.
No, what I'm saying is not. I'm talking about when I say everybody, I'm saying everybody who was acting, who was moving like that. I'm not saying
right. The ones that ain't paying attention.
It's a large, but you gotta think it's a large majority of people who are just oblivious to just everything. They don't even want to know. They can see some shit right in their face.
Honestly, I don't think so.
Yo, believe me.
There's three groups of people, y'all.
I think it may have started off that way. I honestly do. I think it may have started off that way. But I think that we shouldn't be like sitting here all like it's everybody. I really don't think it's everybody. I think it had to take things to occur between 2020 and now for some people to wake up. So you can't sit here and say everybody is still blind to the fact.
It's certainly not everybody, y'all.
Because I'm not going to sit here and put a percentage on it. I think that's terrible statistics for me.
To caveat what she's talking about, man, she's right. She's absolutely right, bro. It's not everybody. This land out here, I can show y'all, goes on for miles, and you can see for miles. From what I'm understanding from my man who sold it to me, about 75% of the people who bought this land out here are black. We were out here the other day, me and my man, because he moved on the land with me, him and his family, and another lady pulled up behind us, and there's like 300 acres behind us. She said that her and some black people bought that land. See? You know what I'm saying? So black people, the secret scrolls say that in the Bible, it says that the chosen will choose in the last days, the chosen will choose to remove themselves from society. It's happening. Black people are waking up, black people getting the hell on and getting back to what their grandmothers and grandfathers and stuff used to do to survive and not depending on the system. But for every black person that realizes that and actually does it, sis, you got about, I'm gonna say you got about 20 black people that man, and that's being
I
generous
don't know.
because
I
if you
just
look at it, there's
I
three
feel
sides.
like with things that has happened in the past few years, you do have some people who are really trying to wake up to the fact they're really trying to see things for what they are.
Right.
And personally, I think that with more people being vocal about it, like stuff like this podcast and listening to other people and seeing how people are trying to do better in life and whatever, it's like I feel like it's not everybody. I'm just not
But
gonna sit here
Yeah.
and co-sign on
okay,
everybody because it's not
Have
everybody.
but
y'all seen that movie Don't Look Up?
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Wait a
now
minute,
it
wait,
Don't Look
what's
Up
that?
with the meteor
Netflix.
with the on it's a movie about they're trying to tell everybody, scientists trying to tell everybody that a meteor is coming and nobody wants to believe them. The
Oh,
president, that
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, I seen it.
That's like, guys, that who knows, man. I'm a 78-month war veteran. Like I got 78 months in actual combat, y'all. And I'm telling you that when this shit hits, like we're in like what the military will call ThreatCon Delta, like imminent attack. That the attack is imminent. And my thing is to the people that I love, everybody on this thing, like, what are you going to do when they shut off the main supply routes and shut off your water and tell you can't go nowhere, get back in your house until they get finished going through everybody's house and marking 3G and 1L or 1W, three girls, one woman, spray paint that shit on your fucking door so they know how many people supposed to be in that establishment at a time type shit because they finna lock shit down. That's literally where we are, guys. That's literally where we are. Like if that's 12 o'clock, we're at 11:59. And nobody is really like nobody's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about getting away from that or
So is
pretending
this
to be.
a platform to talk about it, to inform people, and not sit here and say, well, people are blind and they're stupid or whatever? Shouldn't we be
no,
giving them some
I
type
never,
of
I never said that.
well, we
I
never
never
said
said that.
nobody was stupid.
I never said that. I never said people are blind. I said what I didn't say and what I am about to say is that their deception tactics are certainly working. They're certainly working because I had
yeah,
to go home. I had to go home 3 weeks ago for my sister's funeral, and I had a goddamn headache damn near the entire time I was there because of all the deception that is working. So
yeah.
I'm not saying anybody's stupid. I'm just saying for those of us that get it, what's next? What's next? Because it's not enough to get it because you're still in the shit. You just
Right.
get it. Like we need to be pulling our people off grid. My dream before I die, and I'm meeting with a guy tomorrow to discuss 400 acres he's trying to sell. My dream is to get 10 black tribes out here. Have 10 black tribes on 10 separate pieces of land and we establish our own commerce and our own shit like that. Because unless we do that, y'all, they're gonna wipe us the fuck out. Who
Yeah,
on here?
no doubt. But I'm saying, let's give people more, more context on what they can do and not what they're not doing right now. Maybe they don't know.
Well,
Like,
but
like,
that's why,
like they don't see it the way you see it, in other words.
but that's why we have to inform them with the information first and then give them the solution. We can't give them the solution without them knowing what the hell they're in for. If I just tell you, hey Jay, come with me, we going over here, you're gonna be like, what the fuck for?
Exactly.
I got to tell you what
Mm-hmm.
we got to frame it. What the hell is actually happening? What's happening? And then we have to make a plan forward with the solution. We can't just because these people are not going to blindly follow you anywhere unless
You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. And be honest with you, I wouldn't want this to turn into that, just harping on the fact that people are still blind and what they're not doing. What I'm saying is, well, what should people be doing at this point?
People should be, first of all, people should be, as far as I'm concerned, people should be separating themselves from their material fucking desires. Because if you still got material desires, this shit ain't gonna work for you.
Right.
I went from a 4,000 square foot home on 106 acres to a goddamn RV. Like you got to get rid of a lot of shit that you thought was important to you. Like I got 3 pairs of pants out here. You know what I'm saying? I got money to go buy more, but what's important? Our working pants. When I go to town or something for supplies, I look decent that way. Like my first thing would be to figure out what's important.
Right.
Figure out what's important to you. If having a car you got to pay a car note on, and flashing and living in the city and being 2 minutes away from all the conveniences and all of that stuff, then stay where you are. I just think that and I wish to God I could get all of y'all out here just so y'all could see, not fuck what I got going on. My man a few acres down, he's got his wife and 4 kids out here. He quit a corporate job, 113,000 a year, quit a corporate job, sold his house, bought a camper, and moved his kids off grid. I wish y'all could see how intelligent these kids are. I wish y'all could see the love. Like, they'll come down, one of them will come down and play at my house or something like that, or be with the horses or something like that. His brothers and sisters will come walking down like 30 minutes later. He'll run up and hug them. Like, these kids scream at the top of their lungs doing stuff, man. We do like that. It's just it's really hard to describe, man. Like, breaking yourself away from that matrix of watching,
Kimani. Hey,
Yeah.
let me interrupt you real quick.
Please do, man.
See, so because this is the issue, and I'm gonna address somebody that's in the comments, and I probably shouldn't address them, but I'm gonna address them. Who wants to live like that? See, that's the kind of thinking that we're talking about. Who wants? But when you not given a fucking damn choice, what are you going to be able to survive? Can you start a fucking damn fire on your own? Can you build a tent? Can you fish? Do you know how to do all this other kind of shit without going to the grocery store and buying fish or having a fucking lighter? See, questions like that show how dismissive and the cognitive dissonance that a lot of people have. And this is why I say, and these are my views, that's why I say it's a lot of people out here with that attitude. And I'm going to say 85 to 90% of people out here with that attitude.
Can
I address that, bro? Can I address that?
Hold on 1 second, Kimani. Hold on 1 second before I lose this thought.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what Jermaine just said, I want people to really put this into perspective. We living in a time where the media has convinced people to not be around their families. I want y'all to really put that into perspective. You have people who will say, oh my God, I'm a hugger. I don't shake hands. They don't want to touch you now. So those are the type of people that we dealing with who are completely separated because they believe everything that they see. If they believe everything that they see, what's going to happen when shit really does hit the fan? They're going to tell those people what to do, and those people are going to follow, and those are going to be the people that fuck you over, or fuck the ones who actually know about the shit. That's how the shit goes, because the average person, they want to be led. Bottom line, they want to be led. With people that want to be led, they aren't fucking leaders. So they're going to listen to anything. And with the way shit is going, to see what I see, and if anybody takes this personally, it is what it is. For me to see an entire family in the supermarket with something over their face, with the children too, that is a problem. That is the reason why for me that's a problem. You have 2 adults who listen to people to tell them what to do with their children. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. That means you can't think for your fucking self. Go ahead, Kimani.
People are always saying stuff like, I am my ancestors and all this goofy shit, right? But your ancestors did everything they could to not have nothing to do with the goddamn system. Your ancestors had big ass deep freezers full of fucking food. Your ancestors went and picked their own fresh fruits and everything else. Is when people say something like, who wants to live like that? I'm curious at how you live. Do you live in a city? Do you live somewhere where they can turn some lights on, some police cars, and you can't come out your house? Do you live somewhere where they can just run up in your shit and take your food from you? Do you live somewhere where they can cut off your main supply routes? Do you live somewhere where you can't grow your own food? Do you live somewhere if you can't use your car, you can get on a horse? Like, they've brainwashed us to the point. They've brainwashed us so much. They brainwashed us so much that we don't even want to use these no more. We don't want to use these no more, bro. If I don't build something to house my supplies, it don't get built. My supplies go away. Animals get in it, whatever. Like, if I don't go to the damn well and fill my containers up, then I don't drink water. Yeah, it's a little bit of work, but you know what? Can't nobody cut my fucking water off. Can't nobody close my grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody do none of that. So who wants to live like that? Somebody who's responsible for other lives.
Yeah. Yeah,
my woman ain't gonna never be hungry. My child ain't gonna never be hungry. My tribe ain't gonna never be hungry because everybody's on the same thing. We have bonfire. We had one of the sister's sons turned 9. We had a bonfire out here, man. 15 people out here, man. We told stories about a bonfire, about Geronimo, about Cochise. I mean, that's she's right. Who wants to live like that? These kids don't go to school out here. We do our own homeschooling. We have our own holidays out here about real shit. We teach them about real shit. We teach them what Corona really is. We teach them what that antidote really is. We teach them what's really going on with these politics. We teach them what's really going on with Russia. We teach them real mathematics. We teach them where the moon really came from. We teach them why astrology is so important. The number 12 is so important, stuff like that. So who wants to live like that? Somebody that wants to change the lives of the people coming behind them.
Yeah. Mandy said, I think the message is all wrong. There's a lot of negative. When you want someone to receive a message, you have to be more understanding, be more transparent, not scaring people.
Okay, let me address that. Let me address that. Because if you go check my Facebook page or anybody that knows me, I've been speaking for years on this. Years on this. Black people always want to get babied into something. You always want to get babied into something. Oh, we are past a gentle time. I just explained that we're at 11:59 of our 12th hour, and you're still trying to be coddled. It took me from moving off grid to actually being off grid. Took me 6 months to plan and do. Do we have 6 months of how much time do we have left?
But at the same time, we allowed them to fearmonger us every day on the media. It's fear.
Yes.
For the last 2 years, it's been nothing but fear. Your ass gonna damn die from a disease that got a 0.8 survival rate. Your ass gonna die if you don't take this shit. Your ass it's been fear. So we're okay with some fear, but not other fear.
We can be feared mongered into doing stupid shit, wearing masks, staying away from our elders, and they on their last leg and all of this shit. We can't go see them because we can be fear mongered into that, but we can't be fear mongered into doing something better for generations coming behind you. Because I remember I talked about this before, bro. Black people steady looking to the future for our success and for our answer. They own the future. Why you think there's so much gay shit going on and it wasn't going on when we was kids? They own the future. They own the styles. They own everything. Our answers lie in the past. And that's completely cutting ourselves off of everything that they call entertainment, everything that they call holidays, everything, and going back to what we did prior to them, you know what I'm saying, colonizing our land and our minds.
Right. Chuck, jump in here, Chuck.
Well, I agree definitely with Kamani, and I also agree with Jay. So definitely have contingency plans in place. Now, as far as what Jay was saying, that it took getting us to this point. One of the things that I've been seeing, and I got started. Well, let me mention this. Let me digress, then come back. I got started in this journey exactly 30 years ago in '92 when I read the book Behold the Pale Horse by Bill Cooper. And I tell anybody that's listening, you read that book now, it'll tell you about stuff that's going, it's over 30 years old, but it'll tell you about stuff that's going on right now. It's not that this guy was psychic or anything. These people plan their agendas out 50 and 100 years in advance. So him having been in naval intelligence, he had access to those plans, so he was able to see it. So, but bringing it back, one of the things that I've been seeing is, or from my research, that we were going to be bought to, as Kamani said, 11:59, 0.59. Do y'all remember that movie with Keanu Reeves, the day the earth stood still?
Mhm.
When they said the older guy, he said it's only at the precipice of disaster or the precipice of extinction do we find the will to change. And that's
Say that
basically
one more time, brother. Say that one more time, bro.
Okay, so it's the movie the
I mean
day
the
earth
quote. What was the quote?
it's only at the precipice that we find the will to change.
Yeah, yeah,
So, so basically,
yeah.
like at 11:59, then it's like,
Mhm.
oh shit, wait a minute, this is fucked up, you know. And so going back to what Jay was saying, like I said, I agree with what Kamani said. I also agree with what Jay was saying. What I've been coming up with my research is we were allowed, or things were allowed to get this bad, and they're being allowed to get even worse because you can't tell the masses certain things. They have to visually see it. Like a lot of the people that are waking up, like Fu was saying earlier about regretting the decisions that they made. When people were trying to tell them, hey, look, you know, voting for Biden ain't the best thing. You know, I don't care if you hate Trump, things are good. So it's actually taking people going broke, being financially distressed, having to pay $6 for a bag of Doritos and say, oh my goodness, wait a minute. So I personally think things are definitely going to be getting a lot of work, getting worse than what they have gotten and what they are now. But like Jay said, it's taking that to wake people up. Most people, you can't tell them. They have to go through it. They have to experience it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that uh, that things don't get to that point that Kamani said. They do contingency plans in place, but like I said, definitely agreeing with what Jay said. Things have been allowed to get to this point. What happened with the 2020 election, in my opinion, in my view, was allowed. It could have been stopped, but there's a bigger plan in place to address all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the other thing. Based on everything that we're talking about, the one way for us to get through everything that's going on is people working together. That's a fact. Like, not just us, not just us, but people have to work together in order to get through this.
Absolutely.
But you have to think about the agenda that's been put in place. The agenda that's been put in place is to separate everybody. That's where, and with it being that way, people don't understand that that's part of the plan. Because when you start talking about masses of people, that's power. Prime example. I don't know about Chuck, but somebody like me, I live in a cul-de-sac. What if everybody in the cul-de-sac grew something different in their garden and we just bartered with each other? 9 times out of 10, you won't go to the supermarket as much. But here's the thing. Most people are fucking selfish. Like the people out here who are not preparing for anything. They're going to be the first ones that want to crack you over your head to take what you have. That's the other thing. Like these are the types of conversations that people have to have because it's reality. When you watch certain things on TV, they are preparing it because they're showing you. When you watch a show like The Walking Dead, with The Walking Dead, you have to deal with the zombies, and you also have to deal with people who will take what you have. They both dangerous. They both dangerous than a motherfucker. One of them you can kind of prepare for because it's going to be, you know exactly what you can do. But you can't always prepare the same way for the people who want to take this shit because they still got their brain power. They're going to be strategic. We have to get to the point where we're strategic and on the same page. Because I know for me, and if I hurt somebody's feelings, it is what it is. I can't fuck with everybody on the same level because I can't trust them when shit go down. I can't. Because those would be the motherfuckers that say, oh, they growing plums, they got apples, they got a garden. All you gotta do is go right over that, what's the name? when it's supposed to be a secret. And because they the motherfuckers that want to take your shit.
Yeah. The same ones that saying how we gonna do this or we can't do that or that's far fetched. It's gonna be the same ones. If and when it all hits the fan, they gonna be the ones knocking on your door. Hey, can I have this? And I'm gonna be that nigga. Be like, get the fuck off my yard. Get out my space. Click. No, bye. That's gonna be me. I ain't helping them motherfuckers. Sorry.
And hey man, can you share the quote, the picture quote? Can you put that up on the screen? Because I think that really hits that I sent.
Which one? The one you said?
The one from about people parroting the news. I put it in your Facebook Messenger.
You put it in the Messenger? Okay.
Yeah.
Why he looking for that? Why he looking for that and get ready to post that? Let me put this out there for all the people who believe in the motherfucking quote unquote system of voting in this country. This is a direct quote from Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. You running around here talking about I'm with the Democratic Party, I'm with the Republican Party. Fool, you're not even invited to the party. If you understand that quote, you would realize that it doesn't matter which party you affiliate yourself with. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get what you want because they don't do things based on the masses. They do things based on their pockets. They do things based on what they're being told to do. How many actual politicians on a national stage are actually putting shit in place for their constituents? It does not happen. It literally doesn't happen. I played a video with Russell Brand earlier. And he pretty much broke the shit down. The mainstream media that people are watching, do y'all know who the sponsors are? If you knew who the sponsors were, you'll realize there's certain things they're not going to say because it goes against it's a double standard. They can't do it. When you watch MSNBC, Fox, whatever, all of them, guess what? Guess who they sponsored by? Pfizer. How they gonna talk bad about Pfizer? They said pharmaceutical companies make up 75% of advertising dollars on mainstream media. 75%. You're not gonna talk bad about the people giving you your paycheck. It's just not gonna happen. Period. That's why they keep giving you bullshit stories about what you should be following. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Chuck, I can't. I see the 3 links you sent me, but I don't see a picture. I don't see the image, the quote that you were talking about.
Okay, let me see if I can re-put that in there.
Okay, so while Chuck's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share a video. Because this is what we do. Share my screen real quick. Play his theme music. Guess who's Bazak? Guess who's Bazak?
Regarding those mitigation efforts, I want to get your reaction to something that was written, an op-ed in the Washington Post by Dr. Leanna Wen, a former public health official. She writes, quote, "At this point in the pandemic, we have to accept that infections will keep occurring. During the winter Omicron surge, almost half of Americans contracted the coronavirus. The new Omicron variant BA2 is even more contagious. The price to pay to avoid coronavirus infection is extremely high. Some Americans might choose to continue to pay that price, but I suspect most won't." At this point, are we at the point where we have to accept there is going to be risk, there are going to be continued infections, and the cases, thanks to the prevalence of the vaccine, won't be as serious? We can kind of get back to normal lives knowing that there's a risk out there.
John, I think Dr. Wen articulated that pretty well. There will be, and we've said this many times, even in our own discussions between you and I, that there will be a level of infection. This is not going to be eradicated, and it's not going to be eliminated. And what's going to happen is that we're going to see that each individual is going to have to make their calculation of the amount of risk that they want to take in going to indoor dinners and going to functions, even within the realm of a green.
So I'm gonna stop that right there, because if he was on YouTube, he'd have his first strike for saying what he just said, right? Am I right? He just said that it ain't going away, right?
It done already went away. They bringing it back.
So he'd get his first. If he was on YouTube, he'd have got his first strike, because he said, like we all been, like Dr. Malone said early on, he said, you're not going to vaccinate your way out of this shit. It's just going to have to run. You're going to have to basically live with COVID. That's what he said early on, almost 2 years ago. But if I let you finish watching it, he's not going to come out and say, give you alternate solutions. Well, you need to up your vitamin C. We got monoclonal antibodies available, all these other kind of things. He's going to keep pushing the fourth shot. So any so-called doctor who's only pushing, if you go to the doctor and the only thing they can say is, here goes some goddamn medicine, change your damn doctor, because that's just not efficient, and that's just not how science fucking damn work. It's supposed to be, okay, let's come out with a plan together, let's work this shit naturally, and then if that don't work, then we'll go to the medicine. But the first thing he wanted to say is, let's get this shot. And now they're reinstated. Now that they got they people in place, they reinstated the goddamn
mandates.
The mandates for federal workers. Now they don't mandate, reinstated it from. And now Eric Adams, I was reading an article, he was talking about having drones flying over to see people, to see who once they start locking people down, see who out. Man, y'all believe what y'all want to believe. That's all I say.
That's the other thing. The issue that we have with a lot of people is the first thing they want to say is conspiracy theory. Okay, he brought it up. So
okay. So everything that we've been talking about, in my opinion, this sums it up. And for those people that aren't aware that are watching, I think this guy's name's Zabignu Brzezinski. The last name should sound familiar, because this is Mika Brzezinski's father from MSNBC Morning's Joe. But this guy, he was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and him and David Rockefeller founded the Trilateral Commission. Now, the mentioning of the Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, these are globalist groups, cabal, deep state, people. These are the people that are actually pulling the strings and running things. So, just look at what this guy said. Shortly, the public will be unable to reason or think for themselves. They'll only be able to parrot the information they've been given on the previous night news. This quote's over 50 years old. This was from a book that he wrote 50 years ago. And whether we're talking about the thing, that's been going on the past 2 years, right, or like somebody was talking about being at 11:59:59, or voting, or whatever the case is, the masses, this is basically what they're doing. They can't reason, think for themselves. If it's not monolithic, linear, straight ahead, there's no looking off to the sides. All they can do is just repetitively repeat what it is, the mainstream talking point. They call them the 4 a.m. talking points. No matter what channel you turn to, or what you flip on the internet, you're going to see the exact same thing, the 4 a.m. talking points. So that was one of the things that I was like, this is why a lot of people are the way they are, and basically can't get out their own way.
What are the 4 M's?
No, they call them 4 a.m. talking points.
Oh, I thought you said 4 M's. Okay, I got you.
4 a.m. because that's when all this information is pushed out. As far as CNN, this is what you're gonna talk about. MSNBC, this is what you're gonna talk about. ABC, they're all getting the same talking points at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Now, for everybody out there, let's put something. Let's make this point very clear. We have to understand that their objective is to make everything two-sided. Yep. Period. We're not doing that here. We talk about both sides, because there's a group controlling all sides. Now, when I say that, you have to look at it like this. Are you going to be one of those people that's being controlled, or are you going to think for yourself? Are you going to think out the box? Are you going to question anything? Because the crazy thing is, we've moved from when we was young, the teachers would say, there's no such thing as a bad question. Now, they don't want you to question anything. Because if you question anything, now you're on one of these two sides. As adults, we can't do that. Because if we're doing it, what exactly are you teaching children? That's the issue. That's the problem. So for somebody like me, just so y'all know this, I've always been like this my entire life. I just got older. So this isn't something new. I'm kind of glad she made that statement. Charles, I'm gonna put this to you. Mandy just said, come on now, inflation is always going up. That's not the issue. What would you say to that?
You know what? Man, do me a favor. Pull up the link that deals with the consumer price index.
All right.
From the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let's see what the federal government has to say.
And I'll say this, and then Chuck can probably go into more detail. Mandy, you're right, but it's about inflation gradually happen. What we've seen is a spike super fast, like super fast. That's a problem.
Is this the one you talking about, Chuck?
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
that's it.
Let me see if I can't make it a little bit bigger.
Okay. Okay, that's good right there. So we can see 2017 to 2021. Okay, now as you can see from the web link, this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's a federal government website. So last time I checked, Democrats control the federal government. President, House of Reps, Senate. So we can't say the mean old bad Republicans are finagling this to make Trump look good and Biden look bad. Now, when we look at, let's just take the top line, all items, CPI, and talking about it going up, 2.1 in 17, down to 1.9 in 18, up to 2.3 in 19, down to 1.4. So yeah, she's right. It goes up, but at the same time, it comes back down. Now, let's look at what happened in 2020, to the end of 2020 to the end of 2021. It went from 1.4 all the way up to 7.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. And this is from the Democratic controlled federal government website, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, in March of 2022, we're at 8.5%, which is a 41-year record. So during the past, 13 months since Biden came into office, like I said, it shot up from 1.4 to 7. Now it's gone from 7 to 8.5, and it's still going. From what I can tell, we're going to be in double digits here within the next 2 to 3 months. And for those people that don't understand the CPI / inflation, the higher that CPI inflation number is, the more you're going to be paying for gas, the more you're going to be paying for groceries, the more you're going to be paying for clothes. And if you would, man,
yes, sir.
I think it's the third link, the Yahoo finance.yahoo.com. Could you pull that one up?
Yes, sir. Load it up.
Okay. All right. And if you scroll down, there is, I believe there's a graph, a Yahoo Finance graph, which shows, it says where inflation is and isn't. and it shows the 12-month change in price of. Oh, hit story continues. It opened it up.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, so this is Yahoo Finance. This ain't Fox News. This is a liberal publication. Now, as you can see, over the 12 months, this shows basically where we are now and how things have not steadily, but dramatically increased. So, Fu, like you said, yeah, inflation historically is going up, it comes down, it goes up, and it comes down. But as we saw with the Bureau of Labor Statistics graph, from 2017 to 2020, there was a slight increase and a slight decrease. It wasn't as drastic as it was from the end of 2020 coming into 2021. And it hasn't been as rapidly increasing from 2021 as it has to be in 2022. So we have set a 41-year record. Inflation hasn't been this high since the early 80s, 1981. So that would be my response to the young lady's question. Yeah, it goes up, it goes down, but we haven't seen a drastic increase like this, I don't believe, since the 70s.
And when you start talking about inflation, like you said, it affects your pockets. And
it's a tax. It's an unseen tax.
Now here's I want, and this gonna be for Jermaine and Chuck. What would you say to the person that says the reason there's inflation is because all of the spending that Trump did while he was in office?
Well, wouldn't that have been reflected during that time period?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind. And Trump's been out of office for what, 13, 14, almost 15 months now. So my guess is what we're seeing, the numbers that we're seeing now, the reflection of the spending that's been going on this past year. That's kind of my thought.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I will pose this question to anyone who's why y'all you're a Trump supporter and this, and if you voted for Biden, what had in the last, just laid out, he's been in office for what, 13 so odd months, however long he's been. What has he done? What has this administration done for the people as a whole? Please tell me. I'll wait.
Let me read what Mandy said. First she said, that's not right. Then she said, if you love your people and your society, that's not the overall goal. That's wrong. Then she said, this is exactly what propaganda is. And to play us against each other, some things as in human nature remain sacred. Then she said, that's the norm. This is nothing new. That's the norm. This is nothing. They run an agenda and they cannot produce because human life is greater than their agenda.
So she's saying the Bureau of Labor Statistics website is propaganda? Is that what she's saying?
I don't know. Then she just said Pfizer has already been approved. That's the last call. Pfizer has not approved. That's not true. That's not true. And this is for anybody that wants to do this right now. We really don't want to go into that. But if you go to clinicaltrials.gov, clinicaltrials.gov, you will see that the clinical trials for what they're putting in people is not over until 2023. This is a fact. Go check out the website yourself, and I'll just leave it like that.
So, man, let me jump in.
Go ahead.
Now, she wants to talk about propaganda. This is the prime piece of propaganda right here. What was approved, man? Get your pen out. Write this down. What was approved was the Pfizer Comirnaty. That is COMIRNATY. That is what was approved. That is not what has been dispersed to the public. Use DuckDuckGo. They're not censoring nearly as much as Google. But if you use DuckDuckGo to look for the Pfizer Comirnaty, you will see that was the one that received the government approval, but that is also the one that there's a completely different one that has been dispersed. You can go to Pfizer's website unless they've taken it down, but I know several months ago, someone had actually put up the phone number for Pfizer where their voice recording was saying that the Comirnaty, which was approved, they don't have that. That has not been dispersed. So yes, Fu, you're right. The Comirnaty was the one that was approved. The one that is being dispersed now is not the approved version.
Mandy, what aren't we being transparent about? I'm confused. I'm confused at this point.
Well, I don't know exactly what I'm not being transparent about because I haven't said anything. Because some of this conversation, I'm just not interested in, to be honest with you.
Well, here's the whole thing. Being transparent is showing sources.
Right.
We're showing sources that people can go check for themselves, and it's not biased. It's not one side or the other, because that is where I think a lot of people get caught up into. There has to be a good guy and there has to be a bad guy. What we're constantly saying is, you need to look at all the guys, look at the whole picture, and then you go ahead and make a determination. What we saying is this, and it's crazy because I had said this. It wasn't before Maine won, but I was saying this on a couple of videos probably a year ago. Do not blame a floundering economy on what they pushed for the past 2 years. I said they were going to do that, and they did. Don't blame food shortages on Russia and Ukraine. That's what they're doing. Don't blame gas prices on Ukraine and Russia. Gas was already high. They doing everything in their power to distract you from the truth. But here's the whole thing. We can only give you but so much. It's for you to go check yourself. When you go check yourself, you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize this. But because that's the objective. We're not about pushing an agenda. We want people to look at the entire picture so you can see that there's an agenda being pushed on you.
Yeah, I don't have an agenda because I'm neither red or blue. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't subscribe to
I don't know though, because earlier, the comments was that.
But
who did you vote for? And I'm thinking to myself, well, first of all, he don't vote.
But again,
I don't know how that comes off one way or the other. I can see how it may, but I don't see how that can come off one way or another because you're talking about these things in both areas. I can see it leaning toward a certain area.
Right.
If you are heavily weighed toward a certain whatever color, but like I said, I don't have a dog. I'm not in this.
But I ask again. I mean, what if you voted for Joe Biden, what are you impressed with?
I'm
not asking you, Jay, because I already.
No, I'm not talking about that particular comment.
I'm asking the viewers that saying that we're biased because
that's what I was talking about.
The only reason why people are saying we're biased is because we're trying to hold a party accountable who get 90% of our vote. If you look at our skins, everybody who's on this panel, skin tone, 90% of us vote Democrat. So if we can't hold them accountable, this goes to my point earlier. If I can't hold you accountable, then that means I'm on the other side. If I'm asking these questions, that means I'm not supposed to ask questions, or am I supposed to ask questions? I don't know. Y'all tell me.
And I don't really see us as biased, in that regard. I see us on this panel, technically showing things that, listen, some of it is what it is. It's pretty out there at this point. I see a different point of view and I'm taking it all in. That's why I said I really don't have any comments on it because it's not, something that I can comment on. I am not biased in that regard. I'm sitting up here technically listening
Jay,
and learning.
I want to say something. I want to kind of ask you something, and then you give the reason why. We've had shows before, and you've mentioned this, and I'm bringing this up so that people can kind of understand the way you should do it. Didn't you say before that you voted for Bush?
Absolutely.
Okay. What was your reason that you said you voted for Bush?
During that time, I voted for what worked for me and my family financially. I voted for at that given time, at that given space and time, for what worked for me and my family. I mean, I didn't care about what people thought about it. It had nothing to do with being black or white. It was more or less about me taking care of what's my family, me and my ex-husband. But it's what we came together. It's what we found things that worked for us. So it wouldn't have mattered one way or the other. And I definitely didn't feel bad about it.
No. Here's the reason why I asked you that. This is where the disconnect is. You made a choice about your vote based on your household and finances.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are in their feelings because they voted based on their feelings and not what was going on in their pocketbooks. That's the bridge that we want to gap that one right there. And here's the reason why I'm saying that. Here's the reason.
That's a hard one right now.
Here's the reason.
It's a hard one right now.
Here's the main reason why I'm making that statement. I personally, and anybody who knows me knows, I don't fuck with 45. I don't even say his name. That's why I say 45.
Yeah.
During the time of his campaign, he actually stated that gas was going to be high if Biden got elected. He stated it, literally. But for 4 years, he was painted as the person to not believe. So, since people didn't say, huh?
Biden, I'm sorry to cut y'all. Biden said that gas was going to be high. He stated that he wanted to get rid of.
Actually, he did.
The fossil fuel. So if you're going to get rid of fossil fuels to go toward the Green New Deal, all electric, that means you got to get rid of oil and gas. So Biden even told us that he was going to do it. I'm sorry, I just wanted to add that.
Oh, hold up. And before we go forward, let me read the definition of propaganda. Propaganda is the dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, half-truths, or lies to influence public opinion. I don't feel like that's what we're doing here.
I don't think we're trying to influence public opinion. I think that we are trying to hear public opinion. We're giving people, to me, Unplugged is about, well, how do you feel about this? And maybe it just so happened that, for some of us that come on the panel and guest and as such have an opinion that way, one way. But if you feel the lather, listen, this is an open platform. Come on and say what you got to say. I don't think that we're trying to be, I don't think this is propaganda.
A lot of what we're seeing, in my opinion, is, and Maine used this word earlier, cognitive dissonance. People are getting exposed to facts that they haven't been exposed to before. So you look at the news cycle, 99.9% of it is on a loop. It's saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. That 0.1%, they'll throw the truth out, but they know the people that are caught up in their loop, they aren't going to take the time to go research the 0.1 that was just put out. And then when we come along and we actually put it out to the masses, they're here and it's like, oh man, I've never seen this before. So this is propaganda. No, this is just something that you haven't been exposed to. And that's when that cognitive dissonance sets in. And so now it's like, well, wait a minute. This is messing with the construct that I've been living with for 30, 40, 50 years of my life. And it starts to mess with their fragile reality. So Then what happens?
Right.
We go cognitive dissonance into the ad hominem attacks. When they can't attack the facts, they attack the person who's putting out the facts.
Right.
So
And-
cognitive
and-
dissonance is the ad hominem attacks.
And I think a lot of us have this elitist attitude, you know, when like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, maybe it's not that bad for you, but for a lot of people around here, they fighting foot to mouth. They can't feed. They don't know where their next meal coming from. They don't know how they're gonna pay for gas. For a lot of people, a majority of people, but a lot of us have this elitist attitude that we can only see what's in your bank account, what's in your pockets, what's in your food pantry, what's in your refrigerator. That's all most people can see. They don't understand, or they don't. I don't want to say they don't care, but they just have this impression that, oh, well, this is happening for me, I'm good, so everybody else must be good. No, that's furthest from the damn truth. Because when the last 2 years, when all this stuff was happening, it was food lines was wrapped around corners and all kind of shit, because people didn't know where they were getting their meals from.
And that's why, I'm not to cut you off, Maine, but that's why I said earlier, I don't feel like it is the absolute majority of people who are not waking up to truth and to some type of, seeing the big picture here. Because I was one of the fortunate people. I kept my job during the pandemic, but I know a lot of people who didn't, and I know a lot of people who were pretty much living on that elitist high horse that you're talking about, who during that, when that happened, it brought them down, like way down. And I sympathize for those people, like seriously sympathize for them. So it's like, I can't sit here and say that it was the majority of people, because people are waking up, because they're seeing things differently at this point in their life, especially people our age.
The reason why I say, because you see a lot of people, when we put up posts, they just have this attitude, oh, so what? Whatever. Or gas ain't that high. Maybe it ain't that high for your ass. Maybe you can afford it. Maybe you can afford it. But it's a mother trying to get her kids to school and trying to get to work. They can't afford it.
Right.
Trust me, I know. I just gave a motherfucker $20 this morning to help her get some gas in her damn car. Am I making money where I can just be handing out 20s here and there? No.
Let me address that, man. On the subject of gas, what about people who have jobs that is based on them using their car?
Correct.
So if you have somebody doing something like Instacart, Uber, Lyft, or whatever, your profits are being cut into because gas is a higher expense. And I can tell you right now, Instacart is giving a 40 cents, literally, fuel assistance. Wow. What the fuck are you going to do with 40 cents? Like,
but don't forget, now they're passing that down to us. But it's funny that you say that, because I was wondering about this new surcharge, because I use Instacart. What are you guys going to do with 40 cents?
This is the reason why.
I'm curious.
It's the reason why conversations like this have to be had. And people have to understand, you have to stop voting based on your feelings. Stop moving off of your feelings. Because, once again, if you think about every national election we deal with a president that you can remember, there were things going on that affected you directly and your pocket. But if they were charismatic and everything like that, you were focused on that. And everybody got that. Everybody got some shit with them. Everybody. You go back, whether it was 45, whether it was Obama. Yes, Obama had a lot of shit going on with him.
Yes.
You go back to Bush. You go back to Clinton. You go back to Bush. You go back to, Reagan, Carter. Everybody had something going on. Take your feelings out of this shit and come to the reality that It's a lot of stuff going on that they want to distract you from. That's why it's always something new in the news cycle. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say this based on what Jay been saying. There's a lot of people waking up. Granted, you're absolutely right. But here's where the problem.
The benefit of the doubt.
Here's where the problems come in at. This is the person waking up right here with a book in their hand. Oh shit, I didn't realize. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Once they look up and see TV or their phone, new distraction. Oh, let me check this out. They put the book down because now they're distracted. Whether it's fucking TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, a sporting event, a war, a motherfucker shooting in New York, all this shit. It's always something. What people have to realize is shut that shit off. Sit back and actually look like, wait a minute. Oh shit, I didn't realize that was that high. What the fuck? I didn't realize this. That's where we have to get to. But most people don't want to do that because they living in this reality. And what I want people to understand is every single person has their own reality.
Yeah.
What they don't want is for people to start combining their reality. Because the more people that do that shit, it fucks up the entire agenda. One example I will give y'all of that right there. What if 2 million people said, I'm not going to watch TV for a week? 1 week. 1 week, literally. It would change the entire game. What if 100,000 people said, I'm not gonna buy gas from we choose 3 gas stations. We're not gonna fuck with 3 gas stations for 1 month. Watch what happens. Because it's affecting their bottom line. We live in a corporation. We don't live in a country. Period. When that shit goes through people's heads to understand that shit, it changes everything. Everything about this country is about the bottom line and the dollar. And the crazy part about that is the dollar has no fucking value. And the shit is plummeted by the second. Literally by the second. There's a reason that certain dictators and stuff like that was murdered. Once they start talking about currency, they're gone. Chuck brought up Behold a Pale Horse and that book 30 years ago. Guess where the author is? In the fucking ground. He's gone. This is a constant. It's the same fucking script all the time.
Hey, food. Let me add cut in real quick. May, could you pull up that third link that I sent, EIA.gov? This hits on. I want to touch on what Fu and Jay were just talking about.
What is it called?
In dealing with the gas. The EIA.gov. I think it's the third one.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. It'll be the first one. U.S. Energy Information Administration.
I got it.
Okay, now this is another one. What Main's pulling up. This is another federal government website, the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and it tracks gas prices going back to 1993. There you go. Let's scroll on down to 2022. Oh, no, 2021. May 2021. And so we can see how gas has been increasing since May. Look for 5.10 when gas first hit $3 or something. So yeah, come over to your right.
And you make it a little bigger.
So again, this is another federal government website. This ain't Fox News. This is a federal government website. And it tracks gas going all the way back to 1993. So Russia invaded Ukraine February 22nd of this year. That was almost 2 months ago. As you can see, gas started hitting close to $3 going back to May
April.
of last year. That was almost a year before Russia invaded Ukraine. So if Russia invading Ukraine is the excuse for gas prices being high now, what was the excuse for them being high almost a year ago before Russia invaded Ukraine?
Hold
Question
up.
number one.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
What was the excuse for gas being so high in December of last year, 2 months before Russia invaded Ukraine? So as we can see, and I keep harping on this is a federal government website. Federal government's controlled by the Democrats, so we can't blame those mean old evil Republicans for manipulating the numbers.
Chuck, I want to address something based on what you're saying and what you're showing.
Yes, sir.
And I want clarification on something.
Okay.
Is part of the reason that the gas was low during 45's time in office was because he had opened up our reserves, correct?
Now he hadn't opened up the reserves. That's what Biden did. What
Damn, frozen. As soon as he about to say it, yo, that's hilarious. You can't straight right there.
But look at this elitist ass right here. He's so elitist. He's a millionaire. Rob, I ain't know you was a millionaire. Let me find out. You a millionaire. Look, he got Trump name in his mouth again. Look, it's staying in his mouth. Well, I tell you. Look, man. Whatever, man. Look. We can end it on that.
See if Chuck can get back in before we end it. But what we want everybody to take from this show tonight is do whatever you can to prepare for the worst. You have to prepare for the worst. And if you really think about it, the way that you prepare is doing the things that you went away from. Now, we always talk about getting back to nature. Get back to nature as much as humanly possible. Seriously. When I was in North Carolina last week, and I need to get it. I see where my mother put it or whatever, but my uncle gave me a plum tree that I'm going to plant outside. And he was just like, plant it in your backyard because you have a gate, because if you plant it like in the front, the animal's going to get to it. At least you got better protection with the gate in the back. I'm going to go ahead and plant that. And then we're going to get into growing certain things so we have it. Because what happens when you can't get peppers from the supermarket anymore? What happens when you can't go get your produce from the supermarket? Where you going to go get it from? So any and everybody, you got to learn how to grow your own food. And you have to be mindful, and I want to make sure I say this right. When you buy your seeds, don't go buy your seeds from Walmart. Please don't go do that. You have to buy heirloom seeds and be mindful of where you get them from. Please learn how to prep. I'm begging you. Hell, I talked about it on the show. I had never went fishing a day in my life until I was at Kimani's house and I fished for the first time. And now I know how to do it. I have an idea of how to do it. And I kind of regret not going fishing when I was younger with my uncles and shit like that.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Oh, David, there you go. You back.
Nah. Okay, not sure what happened. But remember I was just telling you, first comes cognitive dissonance, then comes the ad hominem attacks. When the people can't attack the facts, they attack the person. And the brother was the name Robert. Now I'm pointing out facts from a federal government website. I'm not giving my subjective emotional opinion. I'm giving objective documented facts that he can go research for himself. But because it's facts that he doesn't like, the only thing he can do, he can't attack the facts. All he can do is attack me as being a Trump supporter. What have I said to express an opinion one way or the other about Trump? I've just stated objective documented facts.
Chuck,
now Robert,
Chuck, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Address what we talked about as far as with the reserves and what you said 45 did compared to what Biden just did.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things that Trump did that the previous presidents, whether Democrat or Republican, hadn't done, he opened up domestic production. You may also recall the pipeline that was running from Canada, the
Keystone.
Keystone XL, yeah, XL pipeline. So he completely opened up domestic production. Now, one of the things that causes oil prices to be high is the further it has to be shipped, the more it's going to cost. So if you have gas being produced right here in the U.S., refineries right here in the U.S., it's going to be a lot cheaper. For anyone like Robert who doubts this, you can go to the federalregister.gov, what I'm about to say. Federalregister.gov, again, that's another federal government website. You can look up all the executive orders of previous president from Biden going back. One of the first things Biden did was sign an executive order shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. He immediately shut down or decreased U.S. oil production. That's when the link that the EIA.gov link that I gave Maine, you can see on there how gas increased from December 2020. It started increasing in January 2021 and has been increasing ever since. So that's why gas is so high.
Okay,
so and not to mention too, not to forget, I can't remember the name of it, but Biden also approved the Russian pipeline. Let me see if I can find that. But he approved something dealing with that as well.
So,
but while
basically, while you're looking for that, you're pretty much saying that 45 opened it, so we were using pretty much oil and producing our own stuff over here in the States, which is the reason why our gas prices were not high during his time in office. Then Biden comes along and immediately signs an executive order getting rid of that. So that's why the gas prices crept up. And now all of a sudden, since people are bitching and moaning about gas prices being high, now his solution has to be, we're going to open up our refineries. So basically he caused the problem and now he wants to say, oh, this is the solution.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's it. Okay, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Biden waived sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is a Russian pipeline. And remember, up until recently, we were getting a bunch of oil from Russia. They just put the sanctions in place. I think it was within the past 2 to 3 weeks. So we were a net importer of Russian oil. So that's another thing. Now, I think, May, you had mentioned earlier, people like, so what, gas is high, who cares, let's pay a little bit more. Here's where critical thinking comes in. Let's use the Doritos example that Fu gave earlier. One of the main ingredients of Doritos, I believe, is corn. All right. So what powers farmers' tractors? What do they use in their tractors to till the soil and all of that? They use gas. So in the production of that corn, gas is used from the farmers transporting the corn from the farm to the production facility that's going to break it down, adding it to other ingredients, to finally turn it into that Doritos. Gas has to be used to transport the final Doritos product from the production facility to a Publix or a Kroger warehouse. Gas has to be used to transport the Doritos from the Kroger Publix warehouse to the Kroger Publix store. So gas is used, and now just multiply that, not just Doritos, but all the foods you eat, the clothes you buy, the shoes you buy. Gas is used from taking the raw materials at the very beginning stage all the way through the end stage when you use gas to go and buy it. So you start multiplying that up, you'll see why it's a big deal for gas to be so high and why people are financially struggling. Because the makers of Doritos and all these other products, they aren't eating that high increase in gas costs. They're passing it on to the consumers.
All right. Well, I guess we'll land on that note.
Yeah, and Chuck, we thank you, Kimani. We definitely appreciate you jumping on also.
Absolutely.
For all of y'all, we giving y'all the facts. And something that has always held true since the beginning of time. Numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie.
Federal government numbers.
And the suggestion I have for everybody is go follow Russell Brand on YouTube. Trust me. He be spitting some of the realest shit you would ever believe. And he supports it with documents and receipts all the time. Literally all the time. And he not going one side or the other. He doesn't do that. He just shows you right there what it is. So please do that. We appreciate y'all jumping on. For me, if you took offense to anything that was said tonight, hit dogs holler. Period.
Every time.
Ain't no getting around that. Hit dogs holler loud. So
every time.
It is what it is. The way we move forward is preparing yourself what's coming. So I challenge everybody out there. Find something you can grow and be able to consume and eat. Find something, whatever it may be. Do that. Actually have a conversation with your neighbor. You ain't got to be 6 feet apart. Have them do the same thing. Talk to your family. Do the same thing. Because what we have to realize is this. What happens if there's a situation where you can't leave your house and you're forcibly forced to stay in? How are you going to survive? How? You have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. Get some canned goods. Learn how to filter some water. This, that, whatever. I'll show y'all this book again.
And what he's saying is not as far-fetched as your mind will tell you that it's far-fetched. I mean, they did just have you locked down in your house for almost a year.
Now here's the thing.
And not at gunpoint. Just, hey, just stay in your house.
Now here's the thing based on what he just said. They said it was a lockdown. You decided to stay in your house. But what did you do? You use services to get products. Whether it was, you had a lot of shit delivered to your house. Whether it was Instacart, whether it was Amazon, whatever. What happens if they shut the fucking internet down? What are you going to do? How are you going to take care of yourself? What if you can't use your phone? What if you can't access a website? That's the whole point. The only person you're going to be able to depend on is you and your neighbors. So it's about time you started connecting with people. I got family that live around the corner. I could walk around the corner to my family. I got another family member that live probably, that's like a 20-minute walk. I can do that. How many of you are around people you can trust? They've ingrained in you not to fuck with people. Get past that shit, yo. But we appreciate everybody jumping on. Like I said, we knew what we were getting into with tonight's show. We knew this. But it is what it is because it's called tough love. And things have to be said. And what we want people to do is live in reality. Fuck this fantasy shit. And please get out your feelings, yo. I'm begging you to get out your feelings. Fuck that shit.
Hey, Food. Let me ask one thing before you cut it out, man. I sent Maine one more link. This is from the United States Code, and I think this will kind of help people. Well, let's say with open minds, understand what you were talking about. Was that?
I was gonna say ain't no sense. Well, I'll play.
Okay.
I mean, we'll watch.
We'll worry about it. Then. We'll worry about it.
Yeah, we'll catch it next time.
Okay.
We done beat them to sleep already.
Okay. All
right, yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it. I appreciate everyone having me on, Jay.
Thank you. Chuck. Always.
Yeah, and remember, y'all, there's no us without you. And please, everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, go subscribe. Unplugged FYM on Rumble and on YouTube. We'll see y'all next week. And please like, share, subscribe. Deuces, everybody.
Good night.
All right.